to do. I think that's about it. Do you guys have any questions? Are all games going to be played? Well, it's best of 21. I actually don't know. We're going to work our way through. I do know it's for $1,000. I should clarify that. So it was winner takes all $1,000. So I think I covered all the details. You can obviously see there's going to be different maps and civs. 14. Alright, I'll 14 for you. That's fine. Now, I think game 1 was split up into multiple pieces.
Haven't watched the stream, been studying for finals.
Shame on you, dude. Finals are not important. Real life is not important. You should know that by now. Unsub! I'm just kidding, dude. Thank you. Thank you so much for the 6 months. Hope finals go well for you, man. Okay. So, I'm gonna launch the game now, and let's get this underway. Alright, here we are. Just want to make sure everything looks good. We're going to be doing a lot of games here, and it does look good. So, if you're just seeing this on YouTube now, say hello to Twitch. Twitch, say hello to YouTube. What this is the best of 21 played between Jordan 23, who's... Well, hold on, let's take off team colors. Jordan 23, who's in the gray, which is his favorite color, and then Viper, who is in the yellow. This was played, like I said, in 2014. It was for $1,000, and there are a lot of different maps and civs that you can see, and are going to see, because I will cast all of this. If you're here on the live stream today, thank you for stopping by. I just want to give you a couple pieces of info, as usual. If the stream does happen to drop or drop frames, just refresh, please. We'll get past the internet issue someday, but for now, yeah, not going to happen. Viper says, stop that nub. I don't know. I'm excited for this. I'm so excited for this. Like I said to the viewers before I got in-game, I never saw these games myself. I was playing the game at this point, but I was definitely not casting. I did not have a channel. And wouldn't you know it, this was in January of 2014, and now we are in April of 2017. And for some reason, people like me. I still don't quite understand the large numbers that I get on my videos. It just is kind of crazy. In a couple years, I've brought myself to a point where I can cast this in front of a lot of people, and I'm excited. So, like I said, Viper's here in the yellow. I think we'll start with him. Probably everybody's favorite player in the world, or at least has a larger percentage of fans. This is a Huns War for game 1. He's choosing this wood line, which is nice and close to his town center. He also has another wood line here he could use. The one thing that'll be a problem for Viper later on, I think, is this hill. You'll see his main gold far up on that hill, and then also his secondary gold is there. And look, the third is also forward. So, maybe they were having a bit of lag. I like to see the chat in here for sure. Viper's saying, dude, lag.
Less than three.
But, anyway, not a good spot for Viper. If Jordan wants to pressure this area, it's going to be beautiful. Siege Workshop, heavy onto archers, cav archers later on, as this is a Huns War. He controls the hill, he controls the game, in my opinion. So, if Viper wins this one, he's going to need to be aggressive. Brawler, thank you so much for the resub, man. 7 months, that's also an unbelievable number. I can't believe it's been 7 months since I've been partnered, but... Anyway, we'll look at Jordan, and he has a similar wood line, very close to his town center. Looks like he has 4 on wood at the moment. There is a wood line to the left of his TC, and his golds are much better for sure, so it looks like since Jordan has stopped playing the game, Viper has worked on his map hacks. Because this is not very map hacky for Viper. And maybe what it was is that Jordan passed off the files or something to Viper. Because this is a really nice gold for him. He also has another gold here, which will not be of use for anytime soon. A main stone, very nice for him. And even a backwood line with, yeah, 2 patches of deer. Definitely Jordan had the map hacks then. We're going to see 21 games, so we'll see what happens. Only joking, of course. I don't know if these guys are going to lame each other. Obviously, they're talking in the chat. Best friends. I didn't time this, but Viper is in Germany right now visiting Jordan, as far as I know. So, I don't know if they're going to lame each other, but we're definitely going to see some good games. It looks to me like Jordan is setting himself up for potentially a drush, because he has 4 on wood, but we'll know for sure what he's going to do once he gets to 20 population. If he's going to go scouts, on 4 on wood. He'll probably toss up 2 farms or something. A Viper, he is definitely going scouts. And when I started to learn build orders and things, Tony, who you guys may know from the Twitch chat, aka the Hunter, he's been around a lot longer than me, and he said, look at Slam's Rex for Drush Fast Castle, which I did, and then look at Jordan 23's Rex for 22 pop scouts. I wonder if Viper's going to be going for 22 pop scouts or maybe a little bit earlier. Now, one thing I noticed is these guys are very close to one another. There's a lot of space all the way out here that's not going to be used for a long time. Viper and Jordan very close. There's the barracks for Jordan. Is he going to be going man-at-arms? Or is he going for a late drush? It looks like a later drush from Jordan. He already lured in 1 deer as well. So we'll see how much damage he can do with that, while Viper getting loom now, and he's going to go up on 21 population, and I agree with that decision. He probably wants to go up a little bit earlier, because his map is not the best on the front. Now, if the drush comes in from Jordan, Jordan's probably going to pressure the berries. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens here. If I'm Viper, I try and lure in at least 1 deer. That's going to be a huge food boost for him. An extra 140 food to help out with the scouts. The colors, not going to lie, they kind of bother me. Oh, looks like Jordan is not going to drush. He's just going to go up. The colors are really hard to see on the minimap, but for the sake of old pastime, I guess, where Jordan used to play the gray and Viper used to play in the yellow, I'm going to just stick with it for you guys. So that's kind of weird from Jordan, in my opinion. He made 1 militia. He's not sending any more to gold, so it's not like he's going to go man-at-arms. He just went up a little bit later. He might be able to pull it off. Probably will be able to pull it off because his base is so closed, but that's a little bit odd to be clicking up at this time. If he's going scouts, then that militia is also a waste as well. But as God says in the chat, or God Elizer, I don't want you guys to think that God is actually in my chat and you can't see him or something. God says fake drush, the mind games. Yeah, maybe it was that. Viper did see the early barracks, but he also wasn't there when it was fully built, so he didn't even see the militia was created. 2 deer for Viper. He's going for scouts. Probably got to build up on this hill eventually, but he needs to get some military out pronto. This is a pretty good position for Viper, but also a pretty good position for Jordan as well, who is... hi God, yeah. He's going to wall off a bit. I like this wall, but he's not going to be able to full wall his base easily, because this area is still open. This will stop Viper from towering this wood line easily, maybe even sending archers later on behind, and wouldn't you know it, the militia is actually going to change something. The militia is going to push Viper away. Now, Viper is lower HP on that scout. And, okay, 2 ranges from Jordan, so that explains the 24 population up. And I guess he's just going to go trash, defend with spears, and go into skirmishers. And this is not something I expected, but maybe because I was talking about Jordan's 22 pop scouts, and then, of course, he decided to do something different. Alright, so Viper now... I forgot I can speed this up a bit. Let's do that, just like it's a live game. We have lots of games to go through. There we go, that works. Viper's going to have 4 scouts in a moment. He's sending forward a spear. And when you're versed at trash like this, you need to do damage fast. Against 2 spears, it's going to be very hard to get in on this wood line, and in fact, anywhere Jordan is, it's going to be very difficult. So Viper might need to transition to a range soon, and push out and try and do as much as possible. I kind of like Jordan's decision here because his base is so closed off. For the early game, he's going to be able to do this because he's going to force Viper in towards his town center. And Jordan keeping scout alive right now. He has a total of 2 spears, I believe, and now he's going to go to gold. So he's going to make some skirmishers, defend with spears, and go to gold. Calm and collected. And this is where this wall helps out, because he'll get a little bit of scouting info. He knows Viper's here. He has his other spear out here waiting. So even if Viper ends up getting through, which Jordan is not going to let happen with another wall, Jordan would have had the spear ready, and he's probably going to send another spear over. Yep, there he is. And he's going to wait on the hill. Now, Viper could micro this down. Now, only one spear. He could micro down the spear, but then he's going to be caught out when the other spear comes in. Still doable with micro, but you don't want to lose your army at this point if you're Viper. Viper at home, getting ready for the next wave of attack, and he's going for 2 ranges himself. So you don't want to lose this army. You don't want to commit and then allow your opponent to push forward on you. Jordan has to be careful. He still only has 2 spears. He's making a 3rd now. And Viper's still running around. He hasn't been troubled much by these spears because they're so slow. And I think Viper's going to get a Vil pick. Yeah, he's gotten 1 at least. And, oh, look at this. The spears have been pulled away. He's gotten 2 villagers. This is perfect for Viper right now. Still has 5 scouts. And he's going skirms to defend on the hill just in case archers come out from Jordan. But there's a lot more skirms currently from Jordan. And Viper's doing the right thing. Just hit and run, hit and run, hit and run. In fact, okay, this is interesting. He's going to run and try and catch these skirms out. Still making some scouts, and this is, again, going to be very good for Viper. He's on top of the hill. The trash approach works if you can kill the scouts with spears, and the spears have done nothing just because of Viper's fantastic micro. I'm going to check economies, and both players hovering around 100 food, so no big deal there. And, okay, don't freak out. There's a second part to this game, okay? I knew that. I just didn't know when it was coming. So, let's get into the other part. Let's not even mess around here. Give me 1 second, guys. We have a drop! Now we gotta wait for the players. That's what we'd be saying. Gotta wait for that spec delay. No, it's not live. It's alright, guys. It's alright. Alright, we're back in now. Just like it didn't happen. And it looks like it'll be a little bit laggy, but this is doable. I like what Jordan's doing. He's keeping his skirmishers alive, but he's definitely on the back foot. He's transitioning in archers, and he has a lot more on gold. Which is great. A Viper... I swear Viper was researching bloodlines. Ah, okay, yes, okay. He was researching bloodlines before the drop, so... it didn't show up for whatever reason on the right, so it's important to note that he does have bloodlines on his scouts. And he's getting fletching on his skirm, so this is going to be pretty strong force from Viper. So he's looking to send the scouts in, and the skirms are going to be behind. And one thing Jordan does have is the hill. And he's making archers as well. But it's still going to be so hard with bloodline scouts. And it's going to be really fun to watch the micro. Now, this is a good start for Jordan. He wants to kill the skirms of Viper. That way he can use his archers against the scouts. But still, he has to be very careful because the scouts are so fast. And all the while, players are trying to build up their economies. Viper... where's he getting gold from? Oh, I didn't see this early on. Okay, I thought his 3 golds were on the front. He has this gold in the back he's using. So he is adding in archers. It's a recorded game. I can pause, and I'm still missing stuff. It's alright, nobody saw that. Nobody's gonna point that out in the chat. Good job with the YouTube post, it worked. Yeah, man, I gotta let people know what's going on. What amazes me, now, right now, Jordan's finding out where Viper is. I don't know if he knew earlier, but what amazes me, it just seems like they're calm, right? They just feel so calm, just leading their units forward like this. Now, Viper in this situation, as he almost finds a villager, he knows that Jordan's going to have to defend. So this is good for him. But Jordan just seems so calm. But as I say that again, the scout's going over to the gold. And he is sending in spears. He has to be careful. He probably needs to reposition these villagers to the right for a moment and patrol in those spears. Jordan... fighting the skirms from Viper as well. It seems equal over there. Viper's definitely ahead right now, but Jordan is defending alright. But honestly, at this point... okay, finally a counter from Jordan, which Viper will snuff out. I think Viper's in the lead. He has extra villagers. He's actually doing a good job microing here as well. Exceptional to go for the archer. And now send the scouts back in. This is very good for Viper. No need to attack these archers yet. Jordan's just finally trying to get the Viper side of the base, and he's going to regret this decision. Didn't even kill that villager. You think about it, Viper made 5 scouts initially, so 6 total with his starting scout, and then he made 3 more and got bloodlines. That's it. I didn't see him send any more forward. And still these scouts are alive doing something. How many players would just fight, go for a couple of villager kills, and that would be it? Viper, he's keeping these scouts alive, and he's done a lot of damage with them, and this might be that one fight where he just commits because he's on his way to the castle age, but that noise scared me. Subbottom, thank you for the donation, dude. Still Viper's just trying to delay, and this is just perfect, guys. It's actually talking to Adam the Rabbit, who may be in the stream, I don't know, but he's a viewer. I was talking to him last night on TeamSpeak because we were watching some games, and I was talking about just using your army at all times, and even if you have units like Viper here, just keep your opponent distracted, and then you know where his army's at, you know what units he's using to kill that small army. So very important, but still both players clicking up to the castle age with a 7-second difference. There's going to be 3 ranges for Jordan, and Viper's just adding in his 3rd range. That being said, well, I was going to say that being said he has more archers, but they're out here right now, and this is going to be a devastating force once it's crossbow and bodkin. Viper's hill could hurt him here. I think this range is going to get denied. Viper's going out for the counter, or at least he's thinking about it. No, he's coming back now. In Huns Wars, the early crossbow and bodkin arrow upgrade can be so huge, and that range has now been denied. So, Jordan hung in there, and I think he's in a good position here. Of course, he has to be very careful what he does with these units. He doesn't want to run into the town center. He doesn't want to get trapped either, because Viper's coming back, and he can probably expect that now. But they're going to have their upgrades at virtually the same time. Viper's at 18 military and 27 for Jordan, but of course he does have units back here, so I think maybe back at Viper's base, Viper will have the numbers. Okay, again, I'm going to speed it up to around 60. I think this is what it would be like if we were watching it live. I'm going to cast it this way. Good start to this engagement for Viper. He killed an archer, and also he has the hill. Yeah, Jordan hanging around here too long. Maybe he's going to micro down as many crossbows, as many villagers as possible, because both these guys are great with micro, but it's going to be very difficult for him. But so far, the micro's been exceptional from Jordan. Look at that. He killed 3 crossbows without even losing one of his own. So, though he's going to lose this army most likely, he did a good job there. And at the same time, he's safe back at home, which he knows. So maybe that little bit of pressure was good for him. As Viper is now transitioning into cav archers, question is, will he go for a TC? Yes, he's going to go for a TC and delay the ballistics upgrade. Meanwhile, Jordan actually going for a siege workshop. And this is a really smart move because of the crossbows from Viper. Looks like these cav archers maybe going to run around, catch Viper out in the wood line. Not going to deny the TC with the crossbows there from Viper. These guys are macro players. If you don't know what macro is, it's sitting behind your economy, focusing on your economy first. That's just their style, and that's a style that excels if you're good enough at it. And both these guys are virtually identical there. Normally you'd see players going all in and sending a large military force forward right away, but Viper's making sure he can hold to the hill, get that TC up, just defending his eco. But pretty close game still. 46 vills for Viper and 44 for Jordan. And Viper's going for Thumb Ring. Thumb Ring's going to be a big upgrade. This Mangonel's going to be so important for Jordan because he will lose these units if he doesn't have a good Mangonel shot. Especially with Thumb Ring coming in for Viper, and that's a good start with the Mangonel as another Mangonel comes out from Jordan. And I don't know, kind of dicey for Viper here. He's going to try and out-micro the Mangonel. I think he'll get one, but maybe if he kills 2, it's worth it. I do feel like the loss of Cav Archer HP will come back to bite him. But really nice micro there from Viper to take out the Mangonel. Again, he doesn't have much HP left on his units, and he's going to need more Cav Archers here. But killing 2 Mangonels are expensive. And now Viper has the map control back. Thumb Ring is probably why Viper did that. If he didn't have Thumb Ring, I don't think he would have gone for it, but who knows. One thing I want to point out about Jordan's map real quick is it's awful for town centers. You can't town center his gold. Normally you want a wood line and a gold. And then, I'm sorry if you can hear that. My cat is making noises. She's been so bad lately. This TC is also not the best either. So Viper on 2 TCs, about to be 3 town centers. Slightly better map for TCs, I guess. Thank you, Smarthy. I'm sorry, I got slightly annoyed by the text-to-speech guy for a second. Thank you for the 7 months, Smarthy. Jordan has his woodline delayed at the moment. And not looking very good for him. I don't know if he can defend with Mangonels versus Cav Archers. Especially with the Thumb Ring upgrade, as we saw. And there's still a large amount of expos from Viper. And this gives Viper all the time in the world to build up his eco. So there's another town center for Jordan, but he needs military right now. And he does have resources. But again, he's kind of relying on a good Mangonel shot. And Viper's sent knights forward so he can deal with these Mangonels easier. And look at the crossbows doing work for Viper. He's killed 2 villagers, 3 villagers, and even more villagers will go down. Jordan has to run all of his villas away. But, oh. That's going to be a good shot for Viper. Or, nope, not for Viper, for Jordan. And another very good shot. Which will maybe keep Jordan in this one at the moment because he's 10 villagers down. Viper got the TCs up first. Viper has the hill. And those crossbows just ran right into that town center then, which was good. Did you guys see if Viper got ballistics? I actually didn't catch that. But he has the university. And maybe Viper's gonna look to transition into elite skirmishers. He's creating skirms. I'm gonna pause the game because we might have a stream drop. Okay, I think we're good now. I think we're good. Sorry about that, guys. Just refresh if you have issues. I like the elite skirm choice from Viper. He probably notices that the players are very close to one another and going high aggression will be helpful. Bloodlines, Jordan is just getting now.
Love your streams. Here's a humble offering.
Immortal, thank you, man. That's unreal. Thanks for the support. You just said that you recommend my channel to all the friends that are getting into Age of Empires as well. I appreciate that, man. That's awesome. Yeah, Jordan just seems behind here. And he almost seemed behind from the very beginning as well. His skirmishers didn't do much. That trash build was not good for him. Elite skirmishers halfway in for Viper. So these skirms are not going to be that effective at the moment. But at least he knows that that's where Jordan is and he can send his Cav Archers out. A siege workshop for Viper. Again, this gold's going to be very annoying for him. And he's going to need that now that he's out of this one. But Viper has done the right thing, I think. Getting those early upgrades. Elite Skirmisher is a big one in Cav Archer Wars. Mangonels will be menacing for Jordan, of course, but... yeah, Ballistics completed for Viper. Jordan... oh, I'm sorry. Jordan still does not have that, so you could see that in action there. I'm just checking town centers and things. There's university for Jordan. Still not out of this game for sure. He's 10 villagers behind. It does seem like Viper's more comfortable. And Viper's now going for an additional archery range. So we might see a longer castle age, but... Jordan needs a fight. The one thing that makes me have hope for Jordan is this hill. If he can win the hill, if Viper doesn't have a castle here, if Viper doesn't have a TC here or something, it can be devastating. He can lose all of his ranges. He can lose all of his gold. And now Thumb Ring and Ballistics coming in for Jordan 23. So I think he recognizes that. He could even afford another Mangonel if he wanted to go for it. Viper's maybe being a little bit too passive now. Elite skirmishers will help for him, but Viper's losing a couple cav archers now. And another Mangonel coming out for Jordan. Is Viper being too passive here, guys? I honestly don't know. Viper has the population lead. Viper has the economy lead. Level on military, though, and there are more Mangonels for Jordan. Viper's lost one Mangonel. He could lose the other one now. He has lost the other one. You can see he's prioritizing this area now. He's trying to get a town center up desperately. But 2 Mangonels for Jordan. All the upgrades on his cav archers with the exception of the defense upgrade. And he's going to go in here and fight this one. I'm not confident for Viper in this situation. He's trying to get the TC up for some cover fire. I don't know if it'll go up. And more Mangonel shots coming in from Jordan. Viper needs to micro down the Mangonels. He still needs to worry about the cav archers from Jordan. That TC will be denied. And this is the hill that Viper needs. This is a late but effective push for Jordan. And now there's a Mangonel from Viper. Keep in mind, there are some elite skirmishers in here for Viper. So he's going to be able to kill these cav archers a little bit easier. And this Mangonel may be changing things for him. And I do think that the Mangonel and the elite skirmishers are going to hold the hill for Viper. That was a crazy fight. Viper's immediately tossing out light cav. Getting that research. And another great Mangonel shot for Viper. That was a really cool fight to watch. Viper's going to get his hill, and I wouldn't be surprised if he sends... Yeah, he's sending a lot more villagers to stone because he wants a castle up on that hill. You can have more economy, but if you're sitting up on the hill... Well, hold on. Let me start over. You can have more economy, but if you lose access to gold in the situation, you're dead. So, 20 villagers. A big deal for Viper now that he has the gold, and he's going for another siege workshop, which is interesting. The 2 Mangonels here. Nice Mangonel micro. I think Viper will get that for Jordan. Yep. And another good fight for Viper, honestly. Pushing a little bit more forward. And Jordan's going elite skirm, and I think Viper expected this. That's the one thing Jordan lacked. And that's probably why we're seeing stables from Viper to go light cav. I don't think we're going to see a large Imperial Age battle in this one. This hill that Viper's on stretches all the way to Jordan's base, so it's going to be a huge... Sorry, hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, I had to respond to an important text about work, but it's going to be a huge deal to fight for this. And that's why I think we're going to see a light cav, we're going to see skirmishers, we're going to see cav archers, we're going to see Mangonels, and very nice Mangonel micro from both players in this situation. But Viper's economy is paying off now, for sure. Just waiting to see some light cav in here. Again, Viper's losing some cav archers to the Mangonel. There's one light cav, and believe it or not, that'll make all the difference. That Mangonel will go down. Eventually, not before firing again. Important text, what's her name? Just work. Alright, so Viper seems to be in a commanding position now. His extra villagers have paid off. He has both these golds here. He has enough stone for a castle. And Jordan is scrambling. He's running away from this wood line. In fact, he's run all the way back here, which is going to be really dangerous later on. And that castle is going to go forward for Viper. Can't help but think if Jordan had a little bit more military out, Viper would put the castle here. But now he knows he can control this gold. And also all the military buildings from Jordan. So Jordan's definitely behind here, especially as a battering ram comes out from Viper. And Jordan says, well played, Viper, in game 1. I like Huns Wars. I'm still getting used to the whole wreck speed. Because you can kind of tell it's a wreck by the speed. So maybe I can figure out what speed is best for us to be able to cover everything. That was a perfect example of macro play from Viper. First of all, his scouts did a lot of damage early on to Jordan, both in kills and distractions. Oh, we were going to see a woo-woo-woo there. Well, you can put the woo-woo-woos in the chat anyway. So Viper did a great job at distracting with his scouts. He didn't commit them all in one fight. He kept running around and around and around, and that set up his economy to do what he has done here. Was able to push out onto this gold safely. Really important fight on the hill, and Viper probably won that because of Elite Skirmisher. But yeah, great game. I'll look at the achievements now, and we will get into game 2. And if you're just getting here, guys, this is a review of a best of 21 that happened in 2014. I don't remember, I rarely watched the entire series for these things. I think that there was a series where they decided to play all 21 games. Yeah, they've done this before. I don't know. I'd have to pull up AOC Zone again, and I'd prefer to keep casting for you guys. Maybe they decide to play all 21 after the best of 21 is won. Maybe this goes down to the 21st game, who knows? But I will switch the overlay and show you the maps and everything we're going to see. But this is what's important. The food, the wood, the stone. Viper wasn't that far behind in gold. But if you have that much more food and wood, that means you can make more elite skirmishers, and it means that your villager high is way ahead, and you can see it was.